Today we continue with our class, the Shabbos home, when we learn about 39 Melachahs, forbidden activity on Shabbos. And we start with Sefer Chaim, and our topic is tireless constructive listening, big topic. And today's topic is informing the speaker. Okay, and it says, for one to listen to the hills within the framework of Halacha, it is not sufficient that the listener be justified in paying attention to the information being conveyed. The speaker too must have constructive intent. If the speaker is unaware of the information that he is relating is of significance to listener, then he is guilty of speaking rechilus. The listener then is a cause for the speaker's transgression and has violated prohibition before the blind person do not place a stumbling block, Vayikra 19:14, which prohibits one from causing another Jew to sin. Thus, it is the responsibility of the listener to explain to the speaker that the information is important to him to hear and is therefore not considered gossip. If the speaker was already in the process of relating the gossip to others, when the person to whom the information is relevant appeared on a scene, he would not be guilty to cause the speaker's transgression. Even so, it is proper for the listener to explain why he is listening, so that the others will realize that he is not transgressing that they consider to be non-constructive listening as sin. Okay, so let's try to read it again and explain. It's not so hard, but let's one more time. All right. For one to listen to the hills within the framework of Halacha, it is not sufficient that the listener justify paying attention to information being conveyed. Right. So when somebody is speaking some negative information, in order it's to be allowed for him, let's say, to say and for me to listen, it must be constructive for both him and me. Right. For example, he informed me, and because he thinks that this information is pertinent to me. For example, they telling me that the person that I'm planning to go in business with is not such an honest person. Okay, so I did not ask him, but it's a word for constructive purpose. Okay, so if he knows that we're planning to go into the business, right? But for him just start speaking negative things, and let's say these things are permitted for me to hear because it's for constructive purpose for me, does not mean it is for if he does not know that he's saying something for a constructive purpose for others, does not give him permission to continue talking. So in this case, if it is pertinent to me, I'm obligated to inform him. So meaning that to make sure that he understands he's not sinning, and imply that otherwise, like it was implication that otherwise he would not be able to say all of the things. Okay. So continue. The speaker too must have constructive intent. So listen has to have a constructive intent, and the speaker, constructive intent, 100%. If the speaker is unaware that the information he is relating is of significance of the listener, so if this guy who is speaking, he does not know how this information, he just telling the story that this information is important to me, so he is transgressing 100%. So the listener is transgressing, and for example, right, if information is not related to him in any way, or somebody that he knows, and the listener transgressing, both of them. So that's, as we understand, it's a huge issue, right? So in this case, right, we must inform him. Then he is guilty of speaking rechilus, right? If I'm allowed to listen, but he's not aware that I'm allowed to listen, and he continues speaking, so he's guilty of rechilus. The listener, okay, me, then is caused the speaker's transgression transgression and has violated prohibition before the blind person do not place a stumbling block. So this listener, by giving him attentive ear and listen to all of this juicy gossip or whatever this negative piece of information, so he's enabling this other person to continue sinning. That's, as I understand, huge issue. Okay. So continue, right? So meaning what? When you just be nice, you smile, you ask the follow-up question. So it's you putting a stumbling block in front of the blind, right? And this violation, it's from Vayikra 19:14, which prohibits one from causing the other Jew to sin. Okay. So, in any sin. So when we provide this person assistance, and he does not know that he's sinning, basically, right? Thus, it is a responsibility of the listener to explain to the speaker that the information is important for him to hear, and therefore is not considered gossip. So basically, we try to bail out this guy. 1 second, something is wrong. 1 second. 1 second. So, I'm not sure what happened. Okay, sorry about that. Right. So in this case, we try to save this speaker and say, no, whatever we say, that's actually very important information to me. Okay. So when he's aware that this information is important to me, meaning that now he no longer gossiping. If the speaker was already in the process of relating the gossip to other, when the person whom the information is relevant appeared, right? So meaning that this guy was already in the middle of the story, and this story was not relevant to any of these participants, and now a person came and this story, this information was pertinent to him, right? 1 second. The information relevant appears, right? He would not be guilty of causing the speaker to transgress, right? Meaning, if he was speaking and we just joined this group, I mean, we are not the cause that he was speaking. Basically, he was speaking before us. Okay, before we came. Even so, it is proper for the listener to explain why he's listening, so that the others will realize that he's not transgressing, right? So he's not transgressing. So let's explain this part. Let's say there are 3 people, and this information has nothing to do with them. And the 4th guy come and said, "Oh, really? That's what happened. You know what? I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that, and it's very important piece of information for me. Thank you very much." So now. Basically, he, in some way, I would imply to other people that that they doing something wrong, for sure, by listening. Me, I'm just explaining to all of you that I'm listening because this and that. Okay. Right. So the other will realize that he's not transgressing, and that he considers their non-constructive listening as a sin. Right, so meaning and imply that whatever you do, yes, it's this information pertinent to me. Why you listening? That's the issue. Okay, very very deep lesson. Okay, stop here. So let me see if you have any questions on what you said. Okay, so I think yes, on the topic. I have a question about rechilus. Okay, I wonder if public information could be rechilus. If something is a public information, but repeated, by repeating it, would cause more ill will, would this be rechilus? Yes. That's a very good question. It's a very, very good question. So again, a question about rechilus. I wonder if the public information would be rechilus. So if it's between 2 party that not part of this story. There is no problem. I mean, it's not proper way to spend our time, as we learn in our Monday class, right? Is all of this idle speech, right? Forbidden speech and not appropriate speech. So I mean, for sure. But after the fact, I mean, they did not sin. I mean, in the case of Lashon Hara. But if they relate the same information to a person about whom it was said, for sure, it's absolutely forbidden. Or somebody close to him, to his family members, to his friend, to a colleague or something, right? To his wife, yeah, go try, right? Because it would create even more ill will. For sure, that's forbidden. Right, but technically, technically, to repeat something that was is a public knowledge, there is no problem. Right, very good question. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue with our class. So we're on Melachah of writing, and we're in the section number 4 is the practical applications, right? Okay, so A, he's very good. He would give us all of the very practical applications. This one, the next one, I'm not sure. Today time changed a little, but let's see. Book stamps on the edge, right? So on the edge, city public library, right? For example, it was very often. People is in a subway or somewhere, they would sit and read the book. So you see, yeah, this book is from library. Very interesting. Or you see in somebody else's, the guy puts in his bookshop. Isn't it like a library? Oh, yeah, I forgot to return. Yeah, if you forgot to return 3 years ago. Right, very interesting. Okay. So according to some poskim, if book has words or letters stamped on the edge of the pages, it is common with the library books. One is forbidden to open and close the books and thereby break apart or combine the parts of the letters. So in some sense, if you have a stamp of the public library or something, right, on your book, and when you open it, you break in some sense, you breaking the letters. And when you close the books, it's in some sense, it's like you're creating the letters again. Very interesting. So that's why these some poskim say that's forbidden. Others dispute this ruling and contend that since the book is meant to be open and closed constantly, doing so does not qualify to erasing and writing. Okay, right. So other poskim say it's normal way of use. There is nothing wrong with that. I mean, the example could be, so you're not allowed to make a hole in the wall, right? So, not allowed that because it's Melachah of demolishing. But you can open the door, right? But by you opening the door, you making a hole, like in the wall, like it was closed, the wall was complete. Now you open the door, so it's not now it's not complete. So is it breaking? Is it considered to be demolition? No, it's not. It's normal way of use. So and this just remember this example because we're going to use it many times. I think yesterday it was a question about what was something folded. Right, and we gave the example of folding chair. There's it was a fan, right? Like a manual fan, right? So we said that there is no problem, right? Because it's normal way of use. So same is here, opening the books. But there is opinion that it's not allowed. Okay. This is much. They say opening and closing. Okay, no problem. So continue. So it is customary to follow the lenient opinion. Okay. So meaning if you have the stamps books, but today rarely we have such. I mean, maybe some people do. Nevertheless, if one has another copy of the same book and has no writing on the edge, he should use that one and not the one with the writing on the edge. Okay, so as we said many times before, we're trying to satisfy as many opinions of our great poskim as possible. So I mean, they also knew about boneh. They also the demolishing and building. They also knew about opening the door, closing the door. But if they chose to state their opinion and said don't open this book, so they have a much deeper insight that we can imagine, right? So we have to respect that opinion. So he said, if you have another book in your house with the same book without writing, so use that copy. Okay. Alternatively, one can avoid prohibition by inserting the sheet of paper between the pages before Shabbos, right? So that the letter is broken when the book is closed. Okay, so that's so they never complete. So you have a sheet of paper, no problem. Okay. And the commentary says, see page 58, it's far away, concerning the permissibility of reading secular books on Shabbos. I would add anytime. Who said that we're allowed to read secular books? As people once asked Moshe Feinstein about permissibility to listen to the music during these 3 weeks. Exception, big exception, little exception, and Moshe Feinstein said after answering this question, he looked at them and said, "But who told you that you're allowed to listen to music during the year to begin with? Right? There is a clear prohibition. Listen to the music, just so you know, right? Because it's in the topic destruction of Beis Hamikdash, the morning, right? Remembrance of Beis Hamikdash. Okay." So continue. Example B, torn pages. It is permitted to put together 2 halves of the torn page, since any torn letters are generally recognizable through looking at the one half of the page. And putting the 2 halves together merely makes the page easier to read, right? So you have some most common I'm not sure, in olden days, my guess, it's only my guess that the quality of the paper was not as good, all right, but today there's such a high quality, so of course it's possible to read the books, but it's not, they would not be so easy, basically, right? So you have torn off corners, something, so even if you're going to put next to this, the bigger half, you have a piece of torn off, ripped off, so you can figure the letters, most of them. For example, in one of the what was it? No, it was in a class where we learned Michlab Meliyahu, Rabbi Dessler's that sound. So on one page, I think it's one, maybe there were another page in the book, but they cut off the last letter. Right? But and I only realized after the 5th line or something of that paragraph that the last letter is missing. So, but it's readable. I mean, we understand what it says there. Okay, so it's not the end of the world. So that's what he's saying. If you are able to read anyway, so there is no problem. So again, it is permitted to put together 2 halves of the torn page, since any torn letter are generally recognizable through the looking at one half, right, of the page, and putting 2 halves together merely makes the page easier to read. However, if one knows that there are some unrecognizable letters, one must not put the 2 halves together to read the letter. Right, so why would not be unrecognizable? I'm not sure. I mean, everything is possible. So, but even if you put the next one not in direct contact, but a little off, so you can you will be able to read. Okay. Generally, though one need not be concerned that there are unrecognizable letters. Okay, so because most of it would be recognized. As I said, the whole paragraph, I don't know, 20 lines or so, the last letter is missing. Okay, no problem. So next one, puzzles. One should not put together jigsaw puzzle in any size on Shabbos, since one forms picture by combining the pieces, for sure. Right? There was like a random, in some sense, random pieces, and now we put it together. Like now it's a beautiful, beautiful picture. So for sure, it's like somebody's drawn the picture, right? Okay. Concerning children playing with puzzles, see Children in Halacha, page 140. Okay, that's a different book. Okay, section D. Playing games with letters and numbers that are used. Sorry. So first example, of course, the most popular game is Scrabble, right? Playing Scrabble does not violate the prohibition on writing, since one merely arranges letters that are printed on the blocks. So as just to remind us, last time we said, if it's a molded letter, like without any background, it would be forbidden to attach them together. But if it's on a background, on a block, so meaning that the two letters do not attach, so there is no problem. Okay, no blocks. Nevertheless, it is forbidden to play the game on Shabbos, since Scrabble player usually write down the score. And it is forbidden to engage in any activity that usually involves writing, lest one inadvertently write. So our sages added, of course it says that you're not allowed to write, but our sages forbade us all of the activity that might lead to writing. It's not writing, but it might lead to writing. As a Scrabble, so usually people write the scores. I played Scrabble a few times in my life, but like some of them, like 40 points, 2 points, 7 points, all of that. Okay. So I mean, to keep in mind like how many, even count like that everybody would remember their score. I think it's too much. I don't think it's possible. Right. So that's why they say don't play the Scrabble on Shabbos. Okay. Not because of the letters, but because it might lead to writing the score. Next one, number 2, dominoes. It is permitted to play the dominoes, since the arrangement of the block does not constitute writing, and the dominoes players do not commonly write down the score. Okay, so there are some domino games that you do write the score. Like there's like they play in pairs. This pair against that pair. Like okay. All these crazy things. So I think there is like a different score. Somebody explained to me. I know it was too much, but it's for sure it's not simple. It's not like the domino that we play when we were children. Like whoever wins, whoever finishes. It's not. It was much more complicated, right? So they would write the score, but simple dominoes. Like nobody, people don't write, and plus again it's on a blocks, so the letters the numbers do not attach. Okay. So next one, and it's very interesting. It's number 3, magnetic writing boards. Right. It is forbidden to arrange magnetized molded letters on a metal board. Right, metal board. It is also forbidden to draw picture on a board that you use magnetic dust. So okay, before magnetic dust, so you have magnetic boards like usually for kids we have, right, and you have magnetic letters to attach to one another. That's how they write. That's how they spell the words. So that's absolutely forbidden, right? Usually they mold it for sure. Have I ever seen that it's not molded? I mean, I think that it would take too much space, and children in this age, they usually like it's like they like maybe 4 or 5 years old, right? They already can spell some words, so they need bigger space basically. So they for sure they all molded. Okay. So next one, it is forbidden to draw. To draw a picture on boards that I use magnetized dust. Right, that's a problem. Magnetized dust. For example, each a sketch, magna doodle. Okay, right. So because it was like a surface, right? So completely with the dust, and then he tried like to move this pointer, and it's like create a picture, like clear line, right? For sure, like that's how you can write, that's how you can draw, right? It's forbidden. This applies whether the magnetic dust is moved by handheld instrument like magna doodle, or by metallic piece that they control by the knobs, like in each sketch. I mean, yeah, it does not matter. Same idea, right? So next one, E, writing with the food, chocolate letters. It is forbidden to attach molded chocolate letters to a cake, since the letters have no base and become embedded in a cake or frosting. Right, so they sell chocolate letters, right? So it would be forbidden to attach them. So that's why all the kosher bakeries, if you like, even like on a weekday, if you want a cake, they would put like on they write on a chocolate board, so like a piece of big chocolate board, like, and they would write there. Right, and this is no problem. So you can on Shabbos you can use, you can take out, you can eat this chocolate, you can do whatever you want. You cannot break this chocolate in pieces because you're going to break the writings, but you can bite it, I guess, or cut it with a knife, I guess, carefully between the letters. Okay. So again, it is forbidden to attach molded chocolate letters to a cake, since the letters have no base and become embedded in a case or frosting. Okay, so that would be writing. Next one, carving foods. It is forbidden to carve or mold any food item into meaningful shape. Right, so some people are very good in this carving this fruits and vegetables. I think it's art, right, to do that. You have to have imagination, and right, it's very interesting. For example, one may not carve a piece of melon into a shape of flower, or the piece of cake into a shape of letter. Right. So meaning all of these meaningful shapes, absolutely forbidden. Okay. Also, one may not mold tuna or egg salad into the shape of fish. Right. They just mold it together, and there is like some certain dishes in a shape of fish, and then people. I saw it somewhere long time ago, but it looks very cute, right? They like tuna salad with the mayo, like it's very smooth. So they did exactly the shape of the fish with the scales, like beautiful. I mean, scales meaning with the drone scales. Very interesting. So this, of course, is going to be forbidden. Concerning cutting open food that was previously molded in a figure of cake that has the inscription on top, see page 48 to 50. It's far away ahead. So the question is, if you're allowed to, okay, there was like you have cake already and you have flour. Are you allowed to cut through the flour, because you're trying to give everybody like similar size pieces? And we say absolutely not. You cannot destroy. So you cannot write. I mean, we did not get to it, but just so you know the idea, you cannot write and you cannot destroy. So you cannot cut through the flour. You can cut like a flour, leave this flour in a cake and cut from two sides. There is no problem. But right, or letters. So that's very interesting. So in Jewish bakeries, nobody would do that. Right. So simple shapes. They do not represent anything unless they know for sure that it's not for Shabbos. Okay. So continue. Number 3, a whipped cream. And we have a question. I don't remember. I think in this class somebody said whipped cream. I think so. It is forbidden to write letters with the whipped cream, right? Some poskim completely forbid spraying the whipped cream out of the can, right? And just to remind us, we're learning actually in Shabbos kitchen about it, right? What is the prohibition? So about writing letters, okay, we understand. That's our topic. So you cannot write with the whipped cream. But another problem with the whipped cream is something that is called nolad, right? That you create something that was not in the world before. Meaning what? So inside of the can you have liquid, and when you take out, right? When you spray it, it's a solid. This cream is a solid, right? Liquid is something that is flowing, but this cream, like even you put upside down, it's going to stick, right? So it's solid. So that's a different prohibition. Next one, thermometer strip. A thermometer strip upon which the number indicating the body temperature becomes visible when it is placed on the forehead should initially not be used on Shabbos. So let's try to understand. All of the electronic thermometers, we understand they're not allowed because it's electricity, right? But like a little better is a thermometer strip. So you put it on your forehead, or child, or whatever, right? And then number, you see the number. You see the numbers, right? So the problem is they become visible, but the problem is it's like they were invisible, and then you did whatever you did, and now they're visible. And in some sense, it's not a straightforward, but in some sense, like we wrote these numbers. So of course, after the fact, if you don't have anything else, yes, you can use it. But the proper to have like regular thermometer, the old one from the childhood, that we've been using for several hundred years. I'm not sure how many, right? With a mercury. So the mercury is it's the way to go. So in all the religious families they have mercury. I'm not sure if they. I assume they still sell it. But of course they sell electronics like for other people. There is no problem. So they're more convenient, and the temperature is ready like in a few seconds and months. I don't know. 5 seconds. I don't know. We have one. Like few seconds. But with the mercury, you have to 5 minutes, 10 minutes wait. Right. So it's old style. Okay. So of course, this thermometer strip, if you don't have the mercury one available, and you see that the person does not feel well, maybe you need to give them special medicine, like the doctor told you. If the temperature is going up to this and that, so you have to give this or that. So I mean, you're not an expert. You do not understand, but I remember my mother, so she would touch with her lips, like our foreheads. She would tell the temperature. I said, how do you know? She said, I know, and we check exactly. She was always exactly right. Unbelievable, right? So continue. The next example, F. No, not example, practical application. No, it's actually G, combination lock. It is permitted to open a combination lock that has several rotating wheels and required forming a word in order to open. Right, so most of the combination locks are with what is it? With numbers, but some of them with words, right, with letters. I think in the letters are the numbers as well. I think it's only letters. Like I had one many years ago. I think there were like five wheels, and of course they own the different wheels, and they own they're not extended, so that they in the middle of the block in some sense, so they do not touch each other. So yeah, you form in the words, but it's like you put separate letters together, like as we explained before, like these blocks, right? Children like blocks, right? You put together ABC, there is no problem, right? Okay, so the same is combination lock. This is not considered writing since the letters no letters are being formed, right? So because they like exist in letters, and the wheels were previously affixed. So meaning that you just do it in the normal way of using this, right? So next one, H, writing in the snow or mud. Right. I mean, for sure, as we spoke last time, and one of the conditions that we discussed, and we said, is it going to last or not going to last? But if you're going to write something in the mud, like it can dry. If nobody stepped there, it can be lay there like this for a long time. Or same with the snow. If it's not going to snow, nobody is going to touch it for a long time, right? If it's temperature is going to drop. Right, it is forbidden to write in the snow or mud, or mold them into figures on Shabbos, of course. However, it is permitted to walk on snow or mud with shoes that have words protruding from the heels, right? From the heels, from the sole of the shoe. So technically, when you step there, so everybody knows your size, right? Sometimes on the bottom they say your size, or the brand. Right, but it's not like you were writing the brand. Like it's not like a stamp. When you're using rubber stamp, that's you're using something in purpose. Here, like that's normal way of walking. Right, so it's not forbidden. And last example, and it's very practical. We're going to explain. It's hospital admission. One needs to be admitted to a hospital on Shabbos may not sign admission forms. Right? So, is it going to work out for you? I don't think so. However, if the hospital staff refuses to admit, so you try without it. So, I mean, if somebody would come to the emergency room, right, and say, I don't feel well, my head is spinning, I cannot see straight. Of course, they're not going to ask a person to sign the documents, right? Even if you don't have insurance, they're going to admit you later on. That they're going to get the information, but like technically, unless they need to do something critical, of course, while you're waiting, they're going to check your insurance. Like what it's covered, what does not cover, of course. I mean, because like if it's a regular checkup, I don't think they require your signature. But if there is like special procedure, you must sign the paper, release paper. Absolutely, you or somebody like who is with you, right? However, the hospital staff refuses to admit the patient without signature, or the patient needs a surgery, right? And the doctor will not perform unless a consent form is assigned. I mean, like we have to sign that we want the surgery, right? Because they're going to charge our insurance, and maybe it's maybe even it's like what is it? There is a risk involved, and they explain us the risk, and we say, yeah, let's do it. So, I mean, he's not obligated to do that. If you say no, I am somebody say no, I'm better going to die. So doctor is not allowed to force you, I think, right? Unless there is forcing no, right? Forcing no. But in some cases they would try to manipulate, but things. But still, it's very. I mean, it's against the law in some senses. Just let me quickly check. So we have one of our dear students. Actually, he's a nurse, and he told us like several times, like on several occasions that the nursing home like administration they told them all of the nurses to actually trick the patients. Some people, like in the nursing home, they don't want to leave, and they say, "Oh, you have to take the medicine." And look, he's the one on the whole floor. I don't know, 25 people or so. Try to cater to 25 people. You need all the different procedures. Like it's a slavery. It's they getting paid, but it's a slavery job. Slavery, absolutely, right? Very, very physically intense job, right? And of course he has to come, ask, I came, so he has to do report. I came 10 a.m. Patient refused. I came 10:45, right? And he was sleeping. I didn't want to wake him up. How many times you can? And then he came at 3 p.m. and this guy said, absolutely not, I'm not going to take it. Okay, so administration said mixing in yogurt or something. If it's some crush it, mix it in yogurt and let them feed them or something, right? But even if they refuse, if what I'm trying to say, if a patient is he's normal, he's not going to sign, they do not care, right? They're not going to do anything, right? But if he needs his consent form signed, he may sign in unusual manner. Right? What is unusual manner? A right-handed person sign with the left hand. So I'm right-handed. I can do most of the things with my left hand, but right I cannot. It's unbelievable. So sometimes it's for me personally convenient to work with the left hand. I don't know why, right? But right I cannot. So for me, for sure, right hand is not an unusual way. Right, and for left-handed person is writing with his right hand. An ambidextrous person, so meaning the person who can write with both hands, should hold the pen with the point to the back of his hand and right hand. So something upside down, something for sure. For him, it's unusual form. Of course, I tried not to attract too much attention from administration, turn sideways or something. I mean, some signature. So they're not going to check, but trying not to sign in a normal manner. Okay, so we finished with this chapter. So let me see if I have any questions on what we said before we continue. 1 second. Just 1 second. Okay, I mean, it's a lot of questions. Let me do a little of this in this chapter. Then we're going to answer the questions because that's all. There were no questions before the class. So let's try to do this. Okay, so we're going to start chapter number 2. And now topic is activities prohibited because they might lead to writing. So this is rabbinical, as we said many times. This is how Holy Rabbi is building for us fences. And it says, as a safeguard against the possibility of a person writing on Shabbos, the sages prohibited performance of the certain activities that often lead to writing. These other activities. Again, one of the activities, don't the pen, a pencil, all of this writing equipment, muktzah, right? You're not allowed to touch it. Okay, but there are other activities. A, borrowing articles for a long term. Okay, so when we borrow, somebody borrowed from us something, and he's going to return 6 months, 8 months. So I had a person like that used to come to our house many years ago when I was much younger, very young, and he would take things and okay. Can I have it? I said, okay, yeah, you can have it. Right? He would say, I return. And then a year later, 2 years later, the guy comes to me I completely forgot. So with this guy, I mean, he's an honest person, but it's not in his mind to keep his word just because he borrowed something that he has to return promptly. Not so much. It's unbelievable. Like few things he returned, I completely forgot that I even had them. Right. So B. So why I'm saying that? Because some people will write down, right? So somebody borrowed from me something, and they're going to return, I don't know, in January. Now it's May. Okay. So B, transferring ownership of any item. There is a buying or selling, giving gifts, and relinquishing ownership. Hefker. Okay, transferring ownership. C, measuring and weighing. In issuing a judicial ruling. Right, it's separate category. And E, earning money. So earning money, as we understand, that's a separate discussion, and we had several questions about it, like how do you do it, if you're a babysitter, if you're a waiter, or if you do other work for somebody. Right, on Shabbos, are you allowed to being paid? And yes, and we said in some situation it is allowed to be paid. Right, so but that's a separate chapter. Okay. So part number 1, borrowing from for a long term. Right. The Mishnah on Shabbos Mishnah states in Shabbos 148a, a person may borrow from his fellow pitchers of wine and pitchers of oil, provided he does not say to him, "Lend me." Right. Of course, a pitcher of wine. So I mean, maybe he said, "Okay, give me lend me this pitcher of wine, and next year when we have a harvest, I'm going to pay you back," or I don't know. So for a long time. Of oil also, it's a seasonal product. If you don't have it now, if you don't have somewhere to buy it, right, it's only until the next season, right? The sages forbid to say the words "lend me." The sages forbid the borrowing. The borrower, I'm sorry. The sages forbade the borrower to use the expression "halveini," lend me, out of the concern that the lender might draw up the record in his loan. So meaning it's not for one day, for more than 30 days. Okay, halveini. However, the sages allowed borrowing to say hashleini. So hashleini, what does it mean? Which is another way of saying "lend me." The difference between the two expressions is halveini connotes long term, the loan that is not due for repayment for at least 30 days, right? Whereas the second one, hashleini, connotes a loan that can be reclaimed by the lender at any time. Meaning, it's huge difference. In English, I'm not sure. I don't think there is a different word, but in Hebrew, totally different words. The words technically, straightforward translation is "lend me," but we see the content totally different, right? For a short time or a long term. So if you agreed I give you example. If somebody borrowed you from you something for 6 months, so you cannot come to him next week and say you want it, right? The person was counted on this, and he started doing whatever he was doing with this. It's a different story. So you cannot claim, but the second one, short term, right? So he said, "Look, you can keep it. When I need it, I know where you live." Okay, so they smile, shake hands, and that's it. So meaning, but when I come to him and he said, I need to build something, so can I borrow your drill? I say, yeah, you can borrow my drill. I'm not using it in the meantime. He said, but okay, I cannot work on my project every day, but you know what? As soon as you need your drill, just call me and I'm going to get it for you. Okay, so in this case, it's like short term. Okay, so that's a huge difference. The sages were concerned that the lender responding to requests for halva'ah might be inclined to make a record of the long-term loan to ensure that it would not be forgotten, right? So as I told you about my friend from a long time ago, right? I mean, with him, I'm not sure. Maybe he borrowed something and never returned. Maybe, but it's very interesting character. And they therefore forbade to use expression halveini, right? So I mean borrow for a long time. When borrowing the commodities on Shabbos, they allowed to use the expression hash ileni. So meaning when you say this word or another word, so technically the other person understands that you need something on Shabbos for him to give you. That's it. I mean, that's the bottom line. So, but they say use only that one. Right, because when the expression is employed, the lender will not find it necessary to record the loan, since he can reclaim the item after the short term. So, meaning short term. Poskim state that it is forbidden to use the expression halveini, even if stipulating explicitly that the loan will be for a short term. So don't play this far. If this word means for a long term, so don't say halveini for 3 days. Okay. Obviously, these nuances of expression are peculiar to the Hebrew language. The language such as English, in which the expression lend me can refer to either to a long term or a short term, one may not use the expression even when borrowing for a short term. So in English, so you cannot use lend me in any case, right? There is other expressions that we can use. The only permissible language for borrowing commodities on Shabbos is please give me. So please give me meaning as a gift. Is a gift, right? So even you're going to return very soon, but the different story. Please give me. To indicate that he is seeking to borrow the item and not to keep it, right? So it's not as a gift, but borrow, but not to keep it. Okay. The borrower is permitted to say, "Please give me this item to use, and I will return it." Right? So no problem. Or I will give back. I will give it back. Okay. So meaning. Don't lend me, but I will give it back. Okay. However, he should not say, I will repay it. Right. Nowadays, it is customary for people borrowing items on Shabbat and saying, lend me. Some poskim justify the practice by reasoning that since nowadays it is common to make written records only monetary loans, but not loans of food and utensils, there is no concern that the lender might record the loan. Okay, so even today some people say lend me because usually people, I mean, if you borrowed the canister of, I don't know, of oil or something, or milk, right? I don't know, half a loaf of bread, so nobody's going to write it down. Okay. Next, continue. Returning a borrowed item. Just as the sages forbade the long-term borrowing on Shabbos, so too they forbade repaying something that had been borrowed for a long term. Meaning what? Why? Because this person might get, oh, thank you very much. So, and maybe he's going to go to his office and he's going to read this note, right? Or like cross it out. So that's of course the problem. Okay, it is permitted. So I mean that you cause them with you returning this item. So you might cause them to erase something. It is permitted, however, for a borrower to return an item that he borrowed for a long term if the lender needs for Shabbos use. Okay, so long term meaning what? That there is a still possibility that he wrote it down, right? But if he needs it for Shabbos use, like we assumed he would not tear the note or cross out. Okay, and B, the borrower does not say I'm repaying you, but says I'm returning your item, right? So he said I'm not repaying you, so I'm just returning your item. Okay. So I mean in the case where a lender needs this on Shabbos, the sages rely upon the usage of the phrase "I'm returning" to serve as a reminder to the lender not to erase record of the loan on Shabbos. So you I'm returning, right? So meaning to remind him that don't go and start erasing things. Okay, so I think we can stop here because next section is very long. Baruch Hashem. It's transferring ownership. Right, and of course we're going to speak about gifts. We're not allowed to give gifts on Shabbos. In some, you're not allowed, but there's a way to do that, of course. Right. Okay, so we stop here. So let's see. So let me see if we have questions. We do have questions, so let's try a lot of questions. Okay, so next question. Is one allowed to read books of psychics or astronomy in a bathroom during Shabbos, since those can be considered secular books? People, if a person needs to read something in a bathroom, yes, that's not a problem, right? Out of all of the secular books, the scientific books are the best, right? The best, the most useful, right? For sure. Continue. Is it allowed to mold the egg or tuna salad or similar with a regular cup? With a regular cup. With a regular cup, 1 second, I'm not sure what's going on here. With a regular cup, it could be a different prohibition. I guess measuring. So you want only this part of the salad, not the others. Okay, so I would not do that. Okay. Next one. Is to make a corporal temperature with a thermometer of mercury. Is it not to take consider measure? Okay. That's very good question. So we say, how is it allowed to use that thermometer, mercury or not, right? Even with mercury, we said that's the best because it's no writings, right? Well, it's no writing. It's just the mercury is rising and stops on the point of this corresponds to the temperature. But the thing is, healthy person would not take the temperature, never ever. Right? So who needs to take the temperature? Somebody who is sick, sick, and especially even when there is no danger to life, right? So life is not in danger, but the person has to take to bed, so that they say, oh, I'm so weak. What's going on? Maybe I need to take a medicine, right? So yeah, it's a measurement, but it's not that measurement. So, and this in the case of need. Okay, very good question. So next one, on notebooks that have notes to be reviewed, consider muktzah, because a brief being on a surface, we may potentially write on. Okay, one more time. On notebooks that have notes to be reviewed, consider muktzah because of being a surface that we potentially write on. No, there is no problem with the notes. Even yes, there is. Let's say a person have a notebook and 17 pages field, but the rest 200 are not. So yeah, it's not a problem. It's not muktzah. I mean, there are many things that you can write on, right? But the problem is not that with the surface. The problem with the instrument, right? With a pen or pencil or other things, right? So there's no problem with notebooks. So next one, is it possible? Is it possible to do Hil Hashem sign in the hospital form with the opposite hand that we usually use, since we will be very obvious that is on our not our main hand? Very good question. And about what about if they ask if you are mocking them? Also, usually goyim legal documents, if the sign is not exactly the same as it appears in other legal documents, such as passport, ID of the country, etc., the sign is not valid. So it is very probable that they would not accept this sign. How to handle the situation? Okay, so let's try to answer this. I mean, there are a few questions in this one. So, okay, is it possible to be Hil Hashem sign in hospital form with the opposite hand that we usually use, since it will be very obvious that is not our main hand? I mean, I don't think it's very obvious. You think that these people in a hospital admission, they like FBI agents, so they going to see like your driver license and can compare the signature. So you say, I don't feel well. My body is shaking. I don't know. Right? That's it. Usually, just think about who goes to the doctor, to emergency room on Shabbos. Somebody's had a minor headache or something like the broken nail. No, something like serious. The person was driven there. So meaning some life-threatening things. So for sure, nobody expects this person to be perfectly healthy, perfectly normal. So I don't see any issues here. No, right? So, and usually they don't compare. They're not that advanced, and plus there are like in hospitals, in the public places, there are so many people like waiting in line, so they try to do their work as fast as possible. Many times they would compare picture, yes, they would compare. Signature, no, but picture they would compare. That it is you. Right. Since they are obvious, that's not made. It's not obvious. It's not obvious. I mean, some people have a hand. Like I remember, like a few colleagues over the years left me handwritten notes. I could not read like one line. The guy you use such a script. I don't know. Like, how is it possible? So I came to him. I said, I apologize. You know what? I did not do it. It was like our team like leader or something, like a project leader, and say, I apologize, but can you please type me or just say in words, like send me emails? And he said, no, I thought it would be faster. Okay, you thought it would be faster. For me, it's mission impossible to read what you said then. Okay. I'm not sure what country. Maybe he was born in the States, but some other influence, like different script. I don't know. Very like a handwritten script. Not normal. So people have this script. It's and plus we see that this person for his first time. How do they know our script? So I don't think it's a problem. So and plus today, many things you have to sign with your finger. So you just click, they give you. So just recently, not this, like last year, so I had to visit the doctor's office. So they give me like the tablet. So all the information, I filled out in tablet. Nothing was written, and I signed with my finger in this tablet. That's it. Right. Obvious, the main hand. Okay. What about if they ask mamag? They're not going to ask. Right? I don't feel well. That's it. Just admit me. Nobody's asking. I don't think so. It's too much. Also, usually the goyim legal documents. So again, they would compare, like if you give some I don't know, if they ask like you're appearing in a court or something. I don't know, if they suspect that you're lying now in the hospital, nobody expects you to be perfect. You're sick, this and that. I don't think there is nobody is going to suspect you, insult you or something, right? Okay. So the best signature is picture. They look at picture in a document, the picture you, that's the best signature. Signature you can fake the signature. Right? But picture not so simple. Okay. So next question. There are questions about medical professionals. When encountering the patients in dire situation, but they sign DNR, do not resuscitate legal form. Do the medical professional have obligation to resuscitate them? What if they do not would likely be sued for saving them? So let's read again. Question about medical professionals. Okay. When encounter patients in dire situation, they sign the do not resuscitate legal first. So what does DNR mean? DNR mean that they have to do whatever they need to do, doctors, to save their life, to give the medicine, this and that. But if a person went unconscious and they have to do like a shock, to shock them and to connect to machines, so that's what do not resuscitate. I mean, in simple words mean. But normally if they need some procedure, we still do the procedure. Right? Only if a person dies, like clinical death, we do not resuscitate them. That's what it means. Right? If anybody is going to go against this do not resuscitate, absolutely not. Why would they? I mean, it's and halakhically, there is no problem. Halakhically. So actually, we had a medical class. We spent I don't know several years. Right? It was half an hour a day. Right? So several years we spent, and we went through all the different 1.5 million cases, medical cases with that medical professional. So for them it was very useful, very practical. For me, I did not know all this maladies, all the diseases, all these unfortunate things that happen to people. You understand? And some of them was the DNR. So if you don't do anything active, right, you just stand by, they being idle, there's no problem. Plus, it was their wish. So to unplug them, if they ask you to unplug you, that's absolutely forbidden. That's a killing, for sure, right? But not to connect to the oxygen when oxygen ran out. That's a different story, right? So to cut the food is not allowed, right? But that's it's very interesting. But most of them, they're not going to do why would they want to do it? To lose their license, to lose everything. So hospital is not going to keep these people. And this medical professional, he told us how they check DNR, not DNR. It's the first things that they check. So everybody know if something happened, don't touch this person. Right. So it's right. We follow here the procedure. Okay. So next question, and we're going to make the break. Whenever on Shabbos, if you leave book at someone's house for their children to read, and they read and they forgot about it, and later that week you say that they keep to say they can keep it. Is it like you giving the gift on Shabbos? I don't think so. It's very interesting question. So again the situation. Somebody brought to a family a book to read for the kids, and then forgot to take it. And kids, or even did not forget to take it. Kids enjoyed so much. They say, can we keep it and can we read a little more? right? So say, okay, I read a little more. I'm going to take later, and then you call, and the mother say, yeah, thank you very much for the book. They enjoyed so much, and say, you know what? Let's keep let it be my gift to your kids. Okay, so it's very nice. So in this case, it's not retroactive. So the question is retroactive. It's not. It's not, because back on Shabbos you were planning to retrieve it, so it was not a gift, right? Only now, when you spoke to the mother, like on Wednesday, and she said they enjoyed it so much, so you decided to give it to them as a gift. So there is no problem, right? It's no gift on Shabbos. So I mean, we're going to see there are ways how to give the gift on Shabbos, like at all of the technicality, like you can go around, right? Even the person did not know how you can give a gift. You can assign somebody else as a shaliach and give it to shaliach. So the shaliach is his representative, right? You give it before Friday, and then and when shaliach like picks up the things, right? It's called kinyan, right? Acquisition. So they acquire this book, whatever you want to give them. And now they can give it to you, like it's this guy book. He does not even know that I want to give him book. So Shaliach can give, or I can give him, because it's his book. Like, very simple. But we're going to learn in details. Okay. So next question. And it says, when being admitted to a hospital, would it make sense to use a plain expression "I cannot write" repeatedly, referring to the prohibition writing on Shabbos, since it may be possible that the person in charge would interpret it as simply "I don't know how to write"? To the so again, the question: when being admitted in a hospital, would it make sense to use the plain expression "I cannot write" repeatedly, referring to the prohibition of writing on Shabbos? I'm not sure if it's going to fly, that they would believe you that you cannot write. If somebody looks like the person that came from the mountain, he was born there, like no civilization, and now he can claim cannot write. But somebody who is decently looking, like, how come you cannot write? Like, how is it possible? I mean, I don't think anybody was swallow. You can say I cannot feel well. My hands are shaking. This. I mean, if it's true, don't lie. Don't lie. Or say, can I sign the papers later? I want to lie down? I don't feel good. So of course, if it's true, yes. So you can tell them, no problem. Right. But they would not understand that you cannot write. That's too much. All right, so let's take 5 minutes break, and we continue after break. 5 minutes. Okay, so we continue with our class Laws of Yichud, and we on the chapter on number 3, the primary exemptions of the Yichud, and we're talking about this case of Shomrim, who can be a Shomer. In the situation, the Shomer is a watchman, and we're up to category A5, and it says, not category like a section, A5, and it says the principle and concept of the super Shomer. Okay, there exists a unique class of Shomrim who are not subject to the limitations of the Shomer exemption discussed previously. See A4 above, so in previous one. Certainly, they are close relatives based on the rule of human nature and physiology, fall into the category of potent Shomrim, as will be explained further. Right? The super Shomrim. Thus, for example, a presence of son, who is in this category, will protect his mother in a Yichud with a man, even late at night or overnight. So that's the best Shomrim. Okay, see one below. Okay, we're going to get it. This is similar to true with all such relatives. Their presence, even only one at a time, can permit Yichud between two others, even late at night when all are asleep, or even residing all together at the same apartment or living quarters. So we're going to say, so it's A5 and it's in 8A7, okay, below. Okay, this Shomrim will be referred to as the text and super Shomrim. Okay, the following are relatives who fall under the super Shomrim category. And it says, number 1, son and for his mother. However, mother to son is only an ordinary shomer. Right? So son to mother is super shomer. She to him is regular shomer. Next one is daughter for the father. However, father to the daughter is ordinary shomer. Number 3, a woman and her mother-in-law. And her mother-in-law, okay. Number 4, husband's sister. Husband's sister, okay. There is a woman with a sister-in-law who is husband's sister, right? So it's husband's sister, husband's mother, and another three women. It's actually it's absolutely forbidden to take testimony from them about this woman. Why? Because it's in their nature. They hate you. There's maybe she's the best. She's the best for her son, for her brother, but they hate you. That's very interesting. So this sister-in-law is the best shomer. Don't worry, she is going to look after. Right. Next one. Number 5, husband's brother's wife. Husband's brother wife. Okay. There is a woman. Right. So of course his daughter, right, from the first marriage, all this. Right. Husband's brother's wife. There is a woman with the husband. The woman with the husband's sister-in-law. There is a wife's brother. Okay. Next one, number 6, woman and the husband's daughter. Stepdaughter, husband's daughter. Right, so that's super shomer. Woman and the husband's daughter. 7, husband/wife. There is Baaloch Bir or Ishto Imo. Right, so husband in a town, or the wife is with him. Okay. So all of these 7 categories. Okay, so let's start. The affirmation relatives, due to their normal jealousies, for example, woman toward the mother-in-law/daughter-in-law, right? Or else fears for their family reputation, for example, son regarding his mother, would be the highly sensitive to any unseemly conduct between one another in their presence, even late at night. So which is helping us very much, right? Even late at night. This makes them extraordinarily effective because of zealousness as a shomrim against arise conduct in each other presence, as illustrated in the following. Okay, so we go to examples. A son would be extremely anxious at any prospect of arise conduct of his mother, for sure. Doesn't matter how old is he, and be restless at night, right? So meaning that something might happen. See one below for elaboration. Okay. Next one. Dora would be very worried about arise conduct of her father, and have a disturbed sleep at night. See 2 below for elaboration. Right. Next one. Woman would be eagerly exposed to any arise conduct of her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-law knows this. Okay. So we're going to explain number 3 below. Next one, husband/wife would be incensed at any infidelity of one another and fearful of one another's presence. Right. So all of these cases, as we said, super shomrim. In light of I'm not sure what it was. I think it's misspelled. I'm not sure. I cannot even. They don't. Okay. In light of naturally affective these relatives, it can be well understood that their presence can be powerful deterrent to arise. So meaning this angst. Okay. In light of the angst, I'm not sure, is it like naturally affected these relatives? Okay. So meaning that they going to like very, very zealous, and they're going to watch after their relatives. It can be well understood why their presence can be powerful deterrent to arise behavior. So as we said, son watches over his mother for sure, right? Or daughter over her father, and late at night, right, while they asleep, and even if all residing together in the same apartment or living quarters. Okay. Following the further elaboration on the reasons for the unique effectiveness of this super shomrim. Oh, 1 second. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's do at least a few of them. Okay, so number 1, son as a super shomer for his mother. Son is a highly sensitive in Yichud of his mother with any man. Therefore, Yichud is permitted with a woman whose son is present, even late at night, even if the son is asleep, right? Meaning that he would wake up or something. For example, a woman whose husband is out of town may allow his shomer age son to invite his friend to stay overnight with her and her son. Okay, so son invites his classmate or something, right? Similarly, a man may stay overnight in the home of his brother's widow/divorced wife if her shomer age son, there is his nephew is present. I mean, that's a little too much, but let's see. Similarly, a man may stay overnight in the home of his brother's widow/divorced wife. I'm not sure why would he want to do that. If your shomer age son is, meaning his nephew is present, meaning that his brother is not there, meaning maybe he's dead, maybe he divorced, and why the one brother would go to his brother's former wife, I'm not sure. Next one, son versus daughter. Daughter, not a shomer for her mother, nor mother for her daughter. It's very interesting, right? Mother and daughter, there is expression like the mother, like the daughter. Okay. As indicated in writing of sample scheme, this exemption applies only to son. A daughter is not shomer for her mother. Very interesting. Shomer is not daughter is not shomer for her mother, but she is for her father, as we said. Nor mother is for her daughter. The mother/daughter relationship does not protect them from arise transgression in each other presence. I mean, for some of us, it might sound like crazy, but it's actually says in the Torah. And so don't take a woman and her daughter as a wife, right? It's clearly it's in right. So meaning that between mother and daughter, of course, it's exception, but there is sometimes there is no shame. It's hard to understand, but looks like okay. So next one, number 2. Daughter is a super shomer for her father. Daughter is super shomer, right? It's a second category. A daughter is very sensitive in the Yichud of her father with any woman. Therefore, in the present circumstances, Yichud can be permitted with a man whose daughter is present. Yichud with the man whose daughter is present, even at night, even the daughter is asleep, right? And in parentheses it says Rav should be consulted. Okay. For example, a man whose wife is out of the town may allow his teenage daughter friends to remain overnight with him and his daughter. Okay. Similarly, but in this case, in all of this example, the way I understand, so this daughter, this friend is going to sleep in the same room with the daughter, and that's a totally different case, I think. Okay. Similarly, a woman. So again, example: a man whose wife is out of the town may allow his teenage daughter's friend remain overnight with him and his daughter. Okay. Similarly, a woman may stay overnight alone in a house of her brother-in-law when his shomer age daughter, that is her niece, is also in the house. Okay. Okay. Next one, and I think we stop here. So the daughter versus son. Son not a shomer to his father, nor father is for his son. Again, there is expression in I think it's Yirmiyahu. So fathers would take their sons to sin together, right? So they don't have any shame. So they're not good shomrim to each other. It should be noted that the super shomer exemption applies only to the daughter with her father. A son with his father, not a super shomer. Again, it should be noted that the super shomer exemption applies only to the daughter and her father. Okay. A son with his father is not super shomer, as we said. Although the two can be classed as harbei anashim, right? If they kesharim, meaning like multiple men, if they are like upright, and are permitted in Yichud with a woman by day. Okay, that's a different story. So I think we stop here. And next is going to be like there are all of how many, like 7 categories. So it's going to be number 3 to be continued. So let's see if we have any questions. If not, we can do the story. Okay, so we don't have a question, so let's do a quick story. Second. So we continue with our book, what I've now. Interesting. Last time we read a story about the doctor, right? And it was about treating a patient who has a contagious disease. And we said there are 2 doctors available, one the Kohen, one is not Kohen, who should treat him. Okay. So now it's like similar topic, right? Because I guess they connected to the same verse. And the topic is feigning a contagious disease. Okay. Feigning, meaning, right, pretend. On our topic of contagious disease, another interesting question arose recently, when the world was gripped with the panic of the outbreak of the swine flu. So we already forgot a long time ago about the swine flu, but it was very like everywhere, right? And it says the challenge. Okay, fathers made a trip. A father made a day trip by bus together with the 5 small children. Okay, at the end of the fun and exciting trip, he brought the exhausted children into the bus back home. Okay. They boarded the bus only to find out that there was no empty seats, right? And they started whining, little children, right? And they would have to stand for the entire 2-hour trip back home. Okay. The children began to groan and complain, eliciting the sympathetic glances of the other passengers, but no one offered to get up and let them sit, right? I mean, everybody wants to sit. Some maybe elderly people want to sit. Other people just tired, they want to sit 2 hours. They don't want to let these kids sit. Okay, it's very interesting. So, and kids like see other people not standing up for them, so they are frustrating a little, right? Okay, so continue. Apart from inconvenience, the father was also concern about danger of such a trip. If this bus would stop short, his children would probably lose their balance and fall down. Right? So he thought for a moment until finally the idea popped into his mind. So first they tied it as it is. Sometimes children do not hold the rails. You tell them 100 times, they do remember, but then forget this and that. So okay. In my mind, the father could have he could stand in front of the children, even if they fly, if they fall, he would be able to catch them. But okay, so that's very interesting. So continue. So he got a very good idea. He took his cell phone in hand and pretended to talk to his wife. Yes, I just saw the doctor today. The test was positive. I have a swine flu. Yes. It is very contagious. Very, very contagious and dangerous. All this he said in a voice loud enough for the fellow passengers to hear. The next stops, his plan proved successful. When several passengers disbanded, plenty of room was left for his children to sit comfortably until the end of the trip. So meaning he feigned it because people so he played on these people's emotions, right? He said there is I have a swine flu. Maybe children also have a swine flu. I don't know, right? So everybody heard, and people start leaving the bus, right? So, and we see that it's not a halakhic question. It's not so simple. Afterwards, his conscience began to plague him. Perhaps it was wrong to intriguing the other passengers out of their seats. So meaning that people are late or somebody is in my mind with somebody with a weak immune system, right? And now person has to stand outside. Let's say it's hot in the summer, suffer because this guy wants his children to sit. Yeah, your children are very, very precious. But guess what? Just because somebody looks healthy and he's okay does not mean that he has to be somewhere on time, and he also have a family and he coming from work. People sometimes don't only see themselves in the picture. That's the problem. Perhaps he was wrong in tricking the other passengers out of the seats and making them wait for the next bus. He related the incident to Rabbi Zilberstein and asked his opinion on this matter, right? To wait for the next bus and pay for another ticket. So nobody there is no transfer, right? Free transfer. Solution. Although the father was wrong by tricking the other passengers out of the seat, he cannot be forced by the earthly court to pay for their tickets. Right? First of all, go find these people, right? Okay, even if he wants to pay the ticket, go find these people. Right, because he did not do something damage explicitly. By the heavenly court, he is 100% wrong, as we said many times. So this book is amazing, right? By this court, earthly court not, but heavenly court, he is guilty. Right, to pay them for a ticket, since he did not directly damage or steal from them. Nevertheless, he did cause them indirect damage, since they would not have to pay the new ticket to board the next bus, right? And sometimes it's price is proportional, but sometimes it's not, relatively not. So you almost he's paying almost the whole ticket price. Okay, and tickets in Israel are very expensive on the bus. Of course, it's cheaper than to have a car, I guess, but bus, I don't think it's cheap. Okay, especially those we're talking about here, long distance. Okay, okay. Therefore, he's morally obligated, b'dei shamayim, to pay them. Okay, b'dei shamayim meaning from the heavenly court. Since he does not know their identity and cannot find them to pay them back, he should instead donate the value of their tickets towards something that benefits the public. So that's a general approach. when you cannot return money to that person, so you can return it to some public cause, right? So maybe, and of course you prayed, so these people should benefit as well, or somebody close to them, right? As is the law with whether a thief does not know the identity of the victim. Of the similar case, the Mishnah states, anyone who is not crippled, that's here, listen to this, anyone who is not crippled or blind, but pretends to be so, in order to solicit charity, right, will not die of old age before these ailments actually befall him. It's from Payan 8:9. So, if a person pretends, I need money for this, for that, so guess what? Mishnah said he's not going to die until he has this disease, whatever the malady that he has, he was pretending to have, it's going to happen for him, guaranteed. The Pharisee Israel explained, that's why in other books, maybe if we're going to get to it, from one of the greatest rabbi for previous generation, Rabbi Belsky, right? That's how. So he was a head of OU for many years. Very humble person, very learned, very refined person, and one of his top students, Talmidim, right? He compiled his questions and answers. And the book is called Living with Honesty, right? Living with Honesty. So all of these questions, like, are you allowed to park on the meter? So if you're not planning to pay, right? All of these things, like how you answer people, like all the many amazing things, right? And very interesting. So, and one of them, are you allowed to park on? As I remember, that was many years ago, that we learned on this disabled parking person space, right? So you say, I'm going there only for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I have to drop off. No, it's actually pick up. Right? They have my bags, my boxes right there, like by the door. I just open the door, take the box, and I'm out. Is it allowed to park on this disabled person's parking spot? So I know one thing we said, it's actually this Mishnah, right? So it's like you parking there, so it's like you asking to be one of them. And it was like in a shul where I go, there was one person who was actually disabled, and he had a home attendant. Right, home attendant who pushes a wheelchair, non-Jew, right? And this non-Jew, so he would bring him on Shabbos in his wheelchair, and this non-Jew would stay like in a lobby in a synagogue, having a good time, talking on the phone, enjoying until the end of the service. And I saw him like sitting in that chair, in this like a disabled person's chair. So I told somebody, because he was on the phone, I told our janitor, I said, tell them it's not a lie, it's not a good idea, like you asking for it. You understand? So he asked him, he told me once, then I told him, I said, look, it's not like I have any problem. There are many chairs, go sit on a chair. Like don't sit in that, because you're asking for a trouble, right? So the Pharisee Israel explained that even if he is really poor and worthy of the charity, he will still be punished for making it seem that if Hashem has withheld a good health from him. So being poor and being sick, two separate things. Maybe they connect together. Maybe yes, maybe no. So now he showed Hashem in a bad light. So he's poor, and plus he's very sick. You know, that's a big issue, of course. Okay. Without good health. Okay, from here. Beautiful and healthy creatures bring honor to Creator, right? By pretending to be sick, he shows gross ingratitude for his health and offends the honor of heaven. That's crazy, right? That's big. So let me explain these two lines. So first of all, he showed that Hashem in the bad light, that Hashem will tell the half, even if it's not, right? If it's not true. Beautiful, healthy creatures bring honor to his creator. So all of these Kohanim, right, who serve in the Beis Hamikdash must be good-looking people, healthy, good-looking people, without any blemishes. Very interesting. Why? Because everybody's watching them. That's the legion of God, right? Cannot have somebody crippled. But crippled people, that they can get all of the truma. There is no problem to eat all those parts from the sacrifices, all of the other beautiful gifts that go in. But sorry, in the Beis Hamikdash not. Okay. By pretending to be sick, he shows gross gratitude for his health. Right? I supposed to be healthy, no, right? And offends the honor of Hashem. In this case, he's even more guilty, since he did not just take charity that was freely given, he tricked people out of the seats for which they paid. So it's not like charity or whatever people gave, like a change or something. So they people lost because of him, right? Caused them the great annoyance and wasted their time. Great annoyance meaning that people got scared. Right? Nobody wants to get sick from this disease and plus bring in their house. That's the problem. Right? And wasted their time. However, if there was a real danger that the child without a seat might fall down in transit and get hurt, then perhaps the ruse would be permitted, right? Like to save his child. Okay. The Gemara on Shabbos 129a say that if persons had his blood let and cannot afford the wine, need to regain his strength, right? I actually use this as one of the story when I answer some question. I don't remember what question, but we use this example, so you're going to see now. Again, some say he may take a coin, the generally unacceptable currency around from one shop to another. So meaning he had his blood let, meaning that even today when you donate blood, you need to, some people say drink red wine, eat some meat, this and that. So meaning to regain strength. So this person cannot afford wine. Period. Right? He's poor, but bloodletting was as a medical treatment, right? So he can take like a coin that is like good coin, but not very acceptable, or not acceptable in this region, and go from shop to shop, right? And first ask if he can taste very little wine. They would give him and say, okay, I'll buy it bottle. Here's the money. The guy would say, money, I apologize, I cannot accept this money. Okay, maybe, no, I cannot. So, okay, I apologize, sorry, maybe next time. And guess what? But in the meantime, he tasted some wine, right? And so basically he can go from one shop to another without this taste, with a taste and for free. Right, so when the vendor refuses to accept it, he may leave and retreat and repeat his rules again in the next store. The Maggid Avraham in 156 understood this as a given general permission for a sick person to be dishonest when necessary to procure treatment that cannot be they cannot afford. So they use, so Magen Avraham said that if person is sick and he cannot get money, so if he can trick these people out a little for a little donation, maybe it's not such a big deal. However, concludes Rabbi Zilberstein. However, in a case of the first of the bus seats, there might have been other weak elderly people who could not be expected to vacate their places for the children. So I mean, they want to stand far away from this guy, but they could not stand because they're elderly, because they're weak themselves. So the only way for them to resolve the situation, get out, and then sit in another bus, right? Therefore, the father has no right to force them out by pretending to have the contagious illness. So the problem is on the father. So we can stop here. Very interesting story. So next parasha is Mitzvah. Okay, stop. Let's see if you have questions. Okay, so next question. Rabbi, I wonder why there is a natural a relation between the daughter-in-law and mother-in-law. It's not natural. It says at the end of the days that it's going to be a big disrespect. But as I know, in all of the cultures in olden days and even to today in religious families, so they actually call the in-law mother, and her father-in-law she called father, and same with him, right? That's normalcy, right? But the explanation is very simple. They compete for attention, for love of that guy, of mother. Compete for love of your son with your daughter-in-law, right? That's the thing, and his sister is jealous, right? Of course, because for the same reason, and his daughter from the first marriage, for sure, right? For sure. So of course there are exceptions, but that's a normal way of thinking. So that this women cannot testify. Whatever they say that this lady had an affair, we don't believe them. Okay, so continue. I wonder to whom we are obligated to give seats besides the elders and the Torah scholars for public transportation. For example, are we obligated to give seat to kids or someone in the early stage of pregnancy? I assume we know that they mention. We know they mention it themselves. Okay, so that's from old country. That's what we all taught at school. So basically, your kid, right? You have to stand. If somebody is elderly, if somebody with a heavy load, like heavy bags or something, have to get up. Somebody is pregnant, have to get up. Right, but today now society, of course, it's everything upside down. I guess the obligation to give up the seat, the obligation. I'm not sure if you can use the word obligation for elders. I think we have to respect them. To Torah scholars, I guess, yes. But about others, there's no such obligation. Kids, absolutely not. Right? For example, should be obligated to give out the seats to kids? No. Or some early stage of pregnancy. Also, not obligated. Maybe it's nice thing to do if a woman is pregnant, like in advanced stages. So it's very hard to her. Like she's also like a sick person. It's proper to do that. But obligation is not. Okay. So continue. I have a question about a question on story. If a story happened during COVID, if instead of speaking loudly to pretend having swine flu, the father just keeps clearing his throat, is he still obligated by heavenly court? I mean, it's just clearing his throat. Some people naturally they have something with their throat that they cleaning from time to time. So it's not considered to be a problem. If they trying to cough even with a mask, so people get the idea and they move out. So that's a different story. But if he did not say anything, so like especially during the COVID, so people expected that like anybody can have COVID. So even the people, just because there are no symptoms does not mean that people do not have COVID, right? So everybody were they suspect everybody else around. So it's not a problem. So next question. Right. So clearing throat, the throat, there is no problem. So but when like trying to pretend too much, that would be a problem. Okay. So next one. Could I have a question about line? So, but what with COVID? This COVID, I think many companies they move to work from home, so it was not as crowded, right? I haven't been in a public transportation for many years now. Usually, you used to take every day, right? So that's very interesting. So again, question about lying. If one is allowed to lie to fulfill the mitzvah, for example, if one is unable to get time off for Yom Tov, one is allowed to lie to force excuse and not to work on Yom Tov. Question about lying. If one is allowed to lie to fulfill the mitzvah. So I mean, we have a mitzvah, another mitzvah from the lies. You have to stay far away, right? Unable to get time off on Yom Tov. Is one allowed to lie to force an excuse for not to work on Yom Tov? That's a very good question. So lies we cannot, but we can find other ways around how to get this day off, right? So for example, we can always offer. So look, I'm going to work on Sundays. I'm going to work on these national holidays. So this Labor Day is coming. Guess what? Everybody wants to be off, and I'm going to work. Like you want me to work on this and then another national holiday. I can work on this day. So right, offer this to the boss. So but in return I cannot work on these holidays, right? So it's better not to lie, but say, look, it's very important to me. I would not come. I apologize. This day please help me. Just be honest. Pray to Hashem, because this day I'm not going to come. Even if you say, of course, don't say even if you say no, but I would be forced not to come, right? Because it's my religion. It's forbidden for me to work on that day. Say, yeah, but we do not care about your religion. First, we paying you money, and they're going to give you speech. I understand. I apologize. I do, right, but coming is not an option. Anything else, to come on Sunday is an option. To come to stay overtime is an option. To take some to work home is an option. But coming on Yom Tov is not. That day is not an option. Okay, and when you're very straightforward and you're honest, and it should Hashem should relax that person. So next question. We have a general question. I wonder, what should we do if we are in line and someone crossed the line or pushing physically? Would there be a difference between men and women? What are we to have kids with us? Okay, so again, I wonder, what should we do if we are in line and someone crossed the line or pushing physically? So of course we have to stop that person that pushing physically. So let him go in front of you, these crazy people. Would there be a difference between men and women? I don't think so. I mean, that we have kids with us. let this crazy person go first. That's it. Right? And plus, it does not happen very often. Right? And if you're not going to let this person go, nothing good is going to happen. I mean, that's for them, it's like a goal in life to cut, to cheat. So you want to stand as a barrier to them. Better not to. Okay. So next question, if there is some truth to the stereotype that some people have become more emotionally unstable / volatile, in old age, how does one know that older family member is at the fault for being snappy, or they've been inconsiderate, or if they have been inconsiderate themselves? Okay. So let's try to understand. So again, is there some truth to stereotype that some people become more emotionally unstable, volatile in old age? No, it's not. That's the truth. The person becomes softer, right, in old age, right? Softer because why? Because some organs are not working, some muscles are not working, some things are not as in olden days, right? For sure. Like so, and then that person think that everybody own them. Get emotional, right? Start crying more often, for sure. So it's not that's what I see for most of the people. Meaning me personally, maybe there are some exceptions, but there are exceptions. Yeah. But for most of the people, it's true. Okay. So how do we know that if an older family member is at fault for being snappy? Okay. So, or we have been inconsiderate themselves. We have been inconsiderate. It could be a combination of both, but basically the spirit of the older family members. So, for example, they were taking care of you when you were little. So now you grow up, you can take care of yourself. So and they're a little upset about the situation, and now they need help. And you say, I don't have time. I have to go this. I have to do that. So people can get snappy. That's absolutely normal. So we have to be patient with elderly people for sure. So sometimes they just need attention, and they seek attention, and they push for this attention. It's sometimes a little too much. So if there is there's a person that you're not obligated to take care of, so you just distance from them, right? That's it. So I think we answer all of the questions. Beezrat Hashem. So let's stop here. So please join us tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to continue with our kosher kitchen class. So thank you very much and good night. Until tomorrow, same time.